Okay, this we have started judiciary. We learn about what is the role of judiciary. Then what is an independent judiciary, that also we have learned. Now today I am going to start what is the structure of the courts in India. So what is the structure of courts in India? There are three different levels of courts in our country. There are several courts at the lower level, while there is only one at the apex level. Apex means at the top level. Okay. The courts that most people interact with are what are called subordinate or district courts. These are usually at the district or tahsil level or in towns, and they hear many kinds of cases. Each state is divided into districts that are presided over a district judge. So this is very important line. In a district means where states are divided into number of districts, and on district level there is a district court. Okay, each state has a high court, which is the highest court of that state. At the top is the Supreme Court, that is located in New Delhi and is presided over the Chief Justice of India. Actually all these sentences, these are the main sentences where you are learning the structures of our court system in India. Okay, we are going to look over the figure that will make you very easy to understand how the structure is. So you remember these sentences while reading while going through the structure. Okay, the structure of the courts from the lower to the highest level is such that it resembles a pyramid. If I show you the figure, see here. Having read the description above, can you feel out which type of courts would exist at what level in the following diagram? Now here we have read about in this the bottom one. It is at the district level, district court. The center one is at state level, where we will call it as a, and at the top it is a Supreme Court, which is at the country level, and at the state level we call it as a High Court. So district court, High Court and Supreme Court. That is why in that paragraph they have said that Supreme Court is at the apex of the court system. Okay, so that means it is at the top. Now High Courts were first established in three presidency cities of Calcutta, Bombay and Madras in 1862, when there was a colonial rule. We have learned this in history also, correct? Yeah, currently there are 25 high courts, while many states have their own high courts. So these number you have to remember it. Punjab and Haryana share a common high court at Chandigarh, and 4 northeastern states of Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh have a common high court at Guwahati. Now you might be wondering that we have 29 states, but how come there are only 25 high courts? Because it is all because these Punjab and Haryana have a common high court at Chandigarh. Then 4 northern states, Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram and Arunachal Pradesh, they have a one common high court. So that is why though our number of states is 29, we have 25 high courts, because high courts are at state level. Then Andhra Pradesh, that is Amravati, Telangana, that is Hyderabad, have separate high courts from 1st January 2019. Some high courts have benches in other parts of the state for greater accessibility. Okay, moving on. I'm going to read the whole content till page number 60, then we will move on to the PPTs. Okay. Are these different level of courts connected to each other? Yes, they are. In India, we have an integrated judicial system, meaning that the decisions made by higher courts are binding on lower courts. So this is also one more important sentence, so which we have to remember. Okay. Another way to understand this integration is through the appellate system that exists in India. This means that a person can appeal to a higher court if they believe that the judgment passed by the lower court is not just. So appellate means what? If a judgment is given in the district court and if it is not in favor of me, or that is not a proper justice to that person, he can appeal against the decision given by the district court in high court. That is what they want to say over here. This means that a person can appeal to a higher court if they believe that the judgment passed by the lower court is not just. Okay? Let us understand what we mean by appellate system by tracking a case state, that is Delhi administration versus Lakshman Kumar and others in 1985 from the lower courts to the Supreme Court. In February 1980, Lakshman Kumar married 20-year-old Sudha Goyal and they lived in a flat in Delhi with Lakshman's brothers and their families. On 2nd December 1980, Sudha died in hospital due to burns. Her family filed a case in court. So you have to hear the story properly because you will come to know that the how court system works in India. When this case was heard in the trial court, 4 of her neighbors were called in as witnesses. Witnesses means court think that they have seen actually that incidents, so they can give their evidences because they were the witnesses, they have seen actual incidents. They stated that on the night of December 1st, they had heard Sudha scream and had forced their way into Lakshman's flat. There they saw Sudha standing with her sari in flames. They extinguished the fire by wrapping Sudha in a gunny bag and a blanket. Sudha told them that her mother-in-law, Shakuntala, had poured kerosene oil on her and that her husband Lakshman had lit the fire. During the trial, members of Sudha's family and neighbors stated that Sudha had been subjected to torture by her in-laws and that they were demanding more cash, a scooter and a fridge on their birth of first child. Means this is something what you have learned in grade 7, that is a dowry case, and she is the victim of domestic violence also, isn't it? You have gone through these two terms. As a part of their defense, Lakshman and his mother stated that Sudha's sari had accidentally caught fire while she was heating milk. On the basis of this and other evidence, the trial court convicted Lakshman, his mother Shakuntala and his brother-in-law, that is Subhash Chandra, and sentenced all 3 of them to death because it is an attempt to murder. Correct? In November 1983, the 3 accused went to the High Court to appeal against the verdict of the trial court. So this is what the sentence which is there in the last paragraph that I was telling you means if the judgment passed by the lower court is not in favor of you, or if you want to get another verdict, you can appeal in the High Court. So they have got the verdict in trial court, but now they want to appeal it in the High Court. The High Court, after hearing the arguments of all the lawyers, decided that Sudha had died due to an accidental fire caused by the kerosene stove. Lakshman, Shakuntala and Subhash Chandra were acquitted. Now we will learn all these terms in the glossary. You may remember the photo essay on the women's movement in your class 7 book. You read about how in 1980s women's group across the country spoke out against dowry deaths. They protested against the failure of courts to bring these cases to justice. The above High Court judgment deeply troubled women and they held demonstrations and filed a separate appeal against this High Court decision in the Supreme Court through the Indian Federation of Women Lawyers. So this is how you can appeal. So this they want to tell us over here. In 1985, the Supreme Court heard this appeal against the acquittal of Lakshman and the 2 members of his family. The Supreme Court heard the arguments of the lawyers and reached a decision that was different from that of the High Court. Now see here how the verdict or how the decision or how the judgment had changed. They found Lakshman and his mother guilty but acquitted the brother-in-law Subhash because they did not have enough evidence against him. The Supreme Court decided to send the accused to prison for life. See the change in decisions in lower courts and higher courts. Okay. Now next, the subordinate court is more commonly known by many different names. These include trial court or the court of the district judge, the additional session judge, chief judicial magistrate, metropolitan magistrate, and civil judge. So these are the different names. Subordinate court. Why they are called subordinate court? Because they are working under High Court and Supreme Court. So the names, different names given them are mentioned in this sentences. Now moving on to next part. What are the different branches of the legal system? Okay. Now we will see about this. The above case of the dowry death falls within what is considered a crime against society and is a violation of criminal law. So this we will learn about these terminologies. I will explain you what does it means. In addition to criminal law, the legal system also deals with civil law cases. You read in chapter 4 of how a new civil law was passed in 2006 to protect women against domestic violence. Look at the following table to understand some of the significant differences between criminal court and civil court. Now you should understand these two terms. What is criminal court and what is civil court? Now in criminal court and civil court, through these distinguishing points, you will come to know that how it works. Now criminal law. It deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offenses. For example, theft, harassing a woman to bring more dowry, or murder. So these cases, they do get cover under the criminal law violation, correct? And civil law deals with any harm or injury to rights of individuals. For example, disputes relating to sale of land, purchase of goods, rent matters, divorce cases. Okay, these type of cases that will come under civil law. So you should understand this civil law and criminal law. What is the difference between these two? Now next, it usually begins with the lodging of an first information report, that is FIR, with the police who investigate the crime, after which a case is filed in the court. Means if you want to give a complaint against that accused or whoever has committed that act, if you want to file case against him in the court, but we cannot approach the court directly, there is one more process now. So for that, first you have to register a complaint in the police station, and that all complaint, whatever incidents has happened, that will be noted down in the first information report in the police station. So that first information report, we call it as FIR. Okay, once it is investigated by police, now then the police will they will file a charge sheet, and then it will be produced in the court. So that is also a process which we have to follow. Directly we can't go to the court. Similar to that, how to be conducted in civil law? A petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected party only. In a rent matter, either the landlord or the tenant can file a case. That is a civil case. That is a dispute between the two citizens. Correct? So those examples we have learned. If found guilty, the accused can be sent to jail or fined. So this is the judgment, or this is the punishment given to the accused if he find guilty. Now next, in the civil court, what is the judgment? The court gives the specific relief asked for. For instance, for example, in a case between a landlord and a tenant, the court can order the flat to be vacated and to be paid. So these are the differences. What are those all cases that come under criminal law, what all cases that can come under civil law, how the judgment is passed in these two different courts, and how the verdict is based on the incidents that happened. Now fill in the table given below based on what you have understood about criminal and civil law. Now description of violation means which law is violated, and that law can become under which court. You have to write it. A group of girls are persistently harassed by a group of boys while walking to school. What is the structure of the courts in India? So we have read this content from the textbook. Now in easy words, what it all about? We will have a recall of that again. Structure of courts. We discussed the importance of independence of the three branches of government for fair and just functioning of a democracy. Means because of only that system of organs, we can work as a healthy democracy. Today we will see how a country of billion plus people can ask for justice when they feel they are wronged. Means what is the process, how we can ask for our rights, or how we can ask for the justice. There are three lawyers in courts. For now, let's call them lower, middle level, and top courts. There are three layers of courts, There are three layers of courts. For now, let's call them lower court, middle level court, and top courts. The judiciary system is a two-way system. The decision made by the top court are binding on the lower courts. So how they work together. So whatever is decision passed by the top court, that is Supreme Court in our country, are binding on the lower courts, means they have to be followed by the state court and high court and district courts. The complaint and appeal system works from the top to bottom. Means we cannot directly approach the Supreme Court. There is a process again. We have to follow that system. We have to follow that level. So let's say two neighbors. Now we are taking one more example to make you understand how this system works. Now there are two neighbors, Amar and Zubeda, have a conflict, and Zubeda files a case against Amar in a lower court, that is a district court. If the lower court passes judgment against Amar, Amar can appeal against the decision in a middle level court, means in the high court. If the decision passed by the district court is a lower court. If Amar want to appeal, if he is not happy whatever verdict or whatever judgment is passed by that district court, he can appeal it in the high court. That is a middle level court. In favor of Amar, Zubeda can appeal against the decision in a middle level court. Let's assume the person against whom the decision was made appeals to the middle level court. Against Amar, Amar can appeal against the decision in the top court. Means in short how the system works. In favor of Amar, Zubeda can appeal against the decision in the top court. This is how the complaint system works from bottom to top. Means against each other, against the judgment passed in district court, in short, we can appeal in the high court. That's in the simplest word. Okay, though it is maybe by the victim or maybe by the accused, whoever it is. कारण एकदा डिसिजन विक्टिमच्या फेवर मध्ये जाणार आहे, तेव्हा त्यांनी परत मग त्यावेळेस अक्यूज जो आहे त्यावेळेस अक्यूज परत अपील करणार आहे. सो दिस इज हाऊ इट वर्क्स. Largely speaking, the decision of the top court has to be accepted by both parties. There are mechanisms to have a Supreme Court decision amended too. Note that the top court's decision between Amar and Zubeda can be used as an example by middle level and lower courts in future cases that are similar to Amar and Zubeda's case. Means we should not repeat the story again and again. Now, based on in any one such incidence, if the judgment is passed in Supreme Court, whatever judgment, now it is to be followed by the lower courts. Now similar cases can't be again discussed, can't be again have a trial in the lower courts. Directly there will be a judgment passed on this type of similar cases. Okay. Similarly, one middle level court's decision can be used as an example in other middle level courts or lower courts. Means whatever example is set by the higher court or whatever decision is given by the higher courts, it is bound for the lower courts to follow. It is so simple in that. Okay. Usually this would be a decision that has not been appealed in a higher court. So that not every case reaches the top court, the middle level and lower courts might deny an appeal by either Amar or Zubeda depending on the facts of the cases. See, sometimes once the verdict is passed, once it is again appealed, but in some cases what happen, the court may think that whatever decision is given by that court, respective court, that judgment is absolutely fine. So there is no need to appeal. So in that court might deny an appeal also. This also happens. Okay, so this you have to also keep it in mind. There will be a denial also to appeal. In such a case, Amar and Zubeda might appeal the denial too. Okay, in that case, both can appeal for the denial too. Got this sentence? This is how the application of decision works top to bottom. The top court is called the Supreme Court. There is only one Supreme Court in the country. It is in Delhi. So you should remember this. The middle level courts are called high courts. Each state has one high court. It is usually situated in the state's capital. There are 24 high courts in country, as I have explained you. Though we have 29 states, how could there be 24 high courts? Because Punjab and Haryana is sharing one high court, and northern eastern states, 4 states, Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, we have learned, those 4 states share one high court. So together we have 24 high courts in the country. Yes, it doesn't add up. This is because some states share a common high court. That is, Punjab and Haryana share a common high court, which is at Chandigarh. Assam, Nagaland, Mizoram, and Arunachal Pradesh have a common high court that is at Guwahati. Okay, understood now how many high courts we have? Andhra Pradesh and Telangana have a common high court that is at Hyderabad. Some states have benches of high courts as well in other parts of the state for greater accessibility. The lower courts are called by different names such as trial court, court of the district judge, additional sessions judge, chief judicial magistrate. So these all we have read in the textbook, which is there at the right hand side in your textbook on page number 59. Okay, you can read that. It is at the bottom of page number 59. These courts are in the main city of the tehsil or district. Means high courts, they are in the capital of states, like capital of Maharashtra is Mumbai. So our high court will be in Mumbai. So those are high courts mostly at the capital places of that state. And the district courts, they are at the main cities. The type of crimes can be broken down into 2 broad categories, that is criminal and civil. Now we will have a look again. Aryan, you are asking me, have a look, concentrate on this. Either type of case can be filed in lower, high court or supreme courts. A criminal case can be filed against a crime committed. Okay, so it is those cases where a crime is committed. This crime is defined by criminal laws. Criminal laws define the crimes committed against the society. Means, in short, if you want to understand what all those incidences that fall under the criminal laws, that those cases will be filed again in criminal code. Means, for example, in the book it is mentioned about kidnapping, harassing, murdering, all those that come under the criminal law. This could still be a theft or a murder of an individual. See, this all come under the criminal law. The point is that the criminal has potential to cause harm to society at large. These crimes are punished with imprisonment. Now, how these are decided, which case should be under the criminal law? Now, if you look into that case or if you look into that incidence, we will come to know that the accused or whoever has committed that crime may want to cause the harm to the society. He has that potential, he or she has that potential to cause harm to society. So all those cases will be filed under criminal law. Huh? Now if we talk about a civil law, a civil case on the other hand is one of the resolving a dispute between two parties. Now we have seen this dispute resolution, that is the main function of our court system. In that we have discussed about disputes between the citizen, dispute between the states, dispute between state and central, all that. So all those cases are not filed under the criminal law because it is not the crime, it is the dispute between the parties. So that can be filed again in civil case. One or both of these parties could be an individual or an organization. These could be cases such as fraud, defamation, etc. Usually, punishment is a monetary penalty. Monetary penalty means he or she has to pay the fine for whatever the incident has happened for. It is not like that imprisonment in criminal law. It is just a monetary penalty.
If you like our videos, do share them and subscribe to our channel. If you want awesome quizzes, write to us. Keep watching and keep learning with Walnut.